Hey guys, it's me again, and I have got a real treat for you today. This is Burrnova 2D by Jerry McFarland, and this is Burrnova 2D by Jerry McFarland, and I've shown you guys the Burrnova 3D and a lot of his other magnetic burrs, but this one was the first. This was the first time he really put the idea to task, and he got an award with Burrnova 3D after this one. And it is similar in look, but smaller. It's also way denser. Like Burrnova 3D is heavier, but it's bigger. This one is denser, like pound for pound. And it's because unlike Burrnova 3D, where there was gaps between all of them, everything's filled on this, which gives it a very unique look. It also gives you more to do with it. We have our walnut spacers. We have our maple here. I believe this is mahogany. And then we have bloodwood for the bars. And we did that with Burrnova 3D. And they also are kind of similar, you know. This one doesn't have a lady hidden in it. You could have it cut a capsule area here that is lathed or curved, so you could put a minifigure in. And honestly, with this being Burrnova 2D, I would say get an R2D2, or a robot, something like that. But anyways, when you play with it, the only thing that will move is the key piece. And right there, you already got a nice taste of that amazing butter. Here it kind of snap into place. There's a magnet just for that, but it doesn't need it. Like it's very fit. So we push that in, and then if you start pushing on the buttons, you'll get a reaction, and it's this one right here. And it does like the Burrnova 3D. It does 12 moves. You do one, and then there's 11 that go. So it goes in a circle around it 3 times. And all you gotta do to get it back is push them like this. And they start snapping finally in place. And then they lock. And you just do that, and you're back to reset. But this one's way less of a burden to solve. This one's been lacquered as well. So, and another way you can close it up, which is pretty cool and approved by Jerry, is to push in on all 4 at the same time. And there you go. So let's go ahead and solve this bad boy. Okay. And then the way to solve it would be to push on these and keep trying the key. I already know that it's the 4th one. So we push it out the rest of the way. And you get that really cool maze. There's that magnet I was talking about. Black magnets. And it has JM2018 serial number. And at this point, it's fully released again. And you can start taking it apart. You want the key hole piece up here that's like an identifier, and if that's the case, this one will just slide out. Now you'll get this spacer, and that's the brown on top and the small pieces there. And oh hey, they're numbered too. It's all good. We're going to take this completely apart. Let's see here, because we're actually going to use the numbering system to reassemble it. Right now, after you've taken these out, you have this beautiful bloodwood, and it is the burr pieces. So this actually comes up and over. That's a spacer. Actually, you got some like burr moving pieces, and then this can come out as a whole right here. You can take it completely apart. Very strong magnets. Very unique build. You have your steps here. That's what it's going up and down when you do the clack, 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 or 1, 2, 3 all around it. You got your pin for the center. You got your hardened pieces here. for magnets. All very well thought out. And at this point, you'll be able to remove these pieces. And then you can remove these gap pieces. And you'll be able to remove these. Now you're at the top of the puzzle. And to get it unlocked, this is what's holding it all together, was these two. So once they're out, this all kind of comes apart. And the trickiest part of this puzzle is to realize that it is numbered counterclockwise. So when you're making the frame back and you're looking at the numbers on all the pieces, you're going to actually go 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe. All right, so if you freeze it or pause and look, you'll see that there is 33 pieces here. That is a lot for the size of it. It is a 4-3 squash cube by his standards, which means you have 3 voxels up width-wise or height-wise on a 4x4, type cube. And with that in mind, you would think of 2 other puzzles, Quad Lock 1 and Fidget Burr. With both of them, they were this size, and Quad Lock has 19 pieces, so therefore it's lighter, and the pieces are more thick, but they're not as dense because he's using lighter woods. That one is 19, and then the Fidget Burr, I believe, is 25 or 27. So this one's for size to piece ratio is by far bigger than kind of all the rest of them. It's denser in the hand for its size than like Burrnova is in the hand, the 3D. So let's go get started at putting it back together. Obviously what we need to do now is we're going to have to find our bracket pieces, the ones without the white on them, so that we know these are the pieces for the bottom, well actually the top. And this is a 2. Then we got this one here, which is the 4, so they're across from each other. And we flip them upside down, all right? And then we need the top versions. So this is bottom 1, and this is bottom 3. So we need this one and this one. So top 3 and top 1. So we go 1, 2. So what was this one? This is 4. So 1, 2, 3. And just like with all of his puzzles, the beveling is what lets you know that it's lined up properly. And this is good. Now we also need to now put in the tower, the structure pieces. So this is 1 to 4. That means it goes over here. Also, you're going to want to use the notched part as the bottom. That can get very tricky with the design of this piece. It's meant to really mess with you. So if I haven't screwed it up yet, and let's go ahead and put that in the right direction. It'll make a square here, and that's what this goes into. So what we have right there in the middle of that section is 3 pieces layering together. So now we're going to go 1 to 2. This is 2 to 3. This is 3 to 4. Okay, here we go. 1 to 2. And because this cuts down here and it's facing up this way, you'll see the numbering's correct. 1 to 2 facing up. Okay, let's go ahead and turn that around. Okay. We have our 2 to 3. And our 3 to 4. And then our bottom 3 here. And once all these are kind of like held together, because they are a little bit, I wouldn't call them sloppy, because of the 3-way meetup on the corners, it actually holds pretty well. And then you got to put your 2 pieces here. Now one's numbered 1 and one's numbered 3, and these both face up when you put it in, because these sides are more shinier and lacquered. But we want to put them right, so since 1 is here, 3 is here, they go down this way. now we have stability. It's being held together now. So we just need to fill in the gaps, and I'm going to use the proper ones because sometimes these are numbered. Look at that, top 3. What's this one say? Bottom 3. So 3 is here. There you go. This one says bottom 1. I think I had them mixed up when I had it together before. Now this is 2, goes right here. And then this is the 4 with the notch, goes right here. And then now what we need to do is put in our prongs. So 1, we need the gap here at the bottom. It's going to catch and lock into that piece that's one of these. And we got this one here. And then this one says 2. So this is going to happen over here. This one says bottom 3. So that'd be this. And this one says bottom 1. So it goes down and then it slides in to the groove. And you actually have walnut on walnut in the corners inside, which is unusual when Jerry's making these puzzles with the design of the woods. He tends to have them do the hole where none of them, are matching when they intersect. So we have all the tower, basically, structure from the bottom, okay? And so what we're going to do now, or I'm sorry, from the top. How about doing bottom or top? The top. Anyways, it looks right. So when you turn it over, if you're ever curious about how well you're doing, turn it over and look at the bevels here. Yep. And then now we have to build the burrs. So they match the numbers here. And the best way to understand how to do his burrs is you need the point inside, because that's part of the whole maze of the key piece. So these would all go like this. And now we just gotta get the numbers right. So this is 1 facing up. This one's 4. The numbers always face up. This one's 2. And then this one here is obviously 3, right? So this would actually go down here. Oops, like this. With the pin facing in. And here is the 1. That. And then this would be 2. And now you want to be able, you need this piece here and this piece to line up with the way this is set up. So it is. And they will do their own, see, snapping into place. Now this piece here can kind of get in the way. So just kind of pull it back and push down. And then you just have to get your 4 piece in now. May have to move these or shift them a little. There we go. And now you have your burr pieces in. There's not a whole lot left. So now we need to put in our double brackets here, these guys. So this one says 4, so it goes over here. And that slides down in. And this one's going to say 2. Bless Jerry's heart for numbering these, because you'd take it apart a ton of times, put it back together just to get everything that lines up properly. All right, and now finally here, we're going to put these in. Let's see, top 1, like that. But we got to put in our little blocks first. Oh, I did get these. These don't really matter because they're all identical. But I did get these swapped out wrong. I meant bottom is the top, so I put the bottom ones down first. All right, bottom 3. Fortunately, they're not sanded like these are with the bevels. So you just get that little bit, sticking out, and like the flat faces, so they're not even beveled. But you want to get it done right. I'm just not going to take it all apart on the video just to fix that. One. That one's 3. And now we got to rebuild these guys. So if you remember, this one here is 3, and it says bottom. So it'd be here, right? But we know it's got to be this part in. And now we need a 2, which is here. And how that works is just like that. Now, when we slide it in, it'll line right up, and then this will bring in the magnet action. See, this locks right into place. Now we need to put the key back in. 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put this down with the notch here, matching the notch right there. And don't be afraid to give it a little force when you know you're doing the right move. And there you go. Back together. Beautiful puzzle. This one, I believe, got like an honorable mention at IPP in 2018. I believe 2019 was the Burrnova 3D that he won with. Then he went to fidget burrs. What do I think? If I haven't already made it clear, I think this puzzle's beautiful. I think it's my favorite looking Jerry puzzle, magnetic burr at least, and it is a very good procedural solve. It's everything I liked about Burrnova 3D without all the extra, you know, the special moves and spacers, things you had to work with that were difficult with the hands. This doesn't have any of that, but it also takes a decent amount of time to break down, put back together, and if you haven't solved it, you know, yourself or in a while, this will be like a 30-minute solve, maybe 10 minutes to break down, 30 to put back together. So it can really give you your mileage. I had this one lacquered, so it's feels very good to the touch now, and it doesn't wear off. You know, it's gonna always be shiny like this. And yeah, it's my favorite magnetic burr, I think, at least in the sense of the procedure and like the time kill. I believe with the way things are going in life, I might end up with just one Jerry. And if that's the case, then I'll probably still finish with Burley, with my Burlefant, because I've had a few of them. I keep going back to it. It's still a procedural solve too. You just have those SD parts in it that, you know, once you know them, there's no puzzle there anymore. But there are steps there because of the SD. So that's important. And I also believe it's a good one to show off, you know, to someone that doesn't really know anything about puzzles. I should leave my hands in the picture. But yeah, this one here, this thing weighs almost a pound. Like, just to put it in perspective, there's a lot going on in this thing, as you saw. And it's just oh so smooth, you know. So yeah, this is the Burrnova 2D, okay, because it only goes out around the sides, not up and down. And Jerry's a genius. I give this one a 98.5. It's hard to top. It is just compact, beautiful, intriguing, dense, lots of parts. This is going to be something you could easily take around with you and just boom, 33 parts out on the table, right? And then you're tinkering and putting it all back together, and then it does stuff, you know. This one also isn't as chaotic that you have to worry about people dropping it early. Plus it's smaller, so more likely they'll have it in a safe spot when they do it. But man, just that fitting it, wow, pure butter. All right, guys, that is Burrnova 2D. I am very proud to finally show you guys. There's only one magnetic burr. This one is this is discontinued. You can't have these made. You'll have to hunt one down. I've only ever seen one and here it is, right? So good luck with that. Burrnova 3D is great, and just, like this in a way, but it is a lot more to do. A lot more to figure out, and I'm sure for most puzzlers that's like, well, hey, yeah. So don't feel bad, but if you get a chance to solve one of these, or you get a chance to get your hands on one, it doesn't even matter that you just solve with me. You're not going to remember all that. You might know how to get through the lock, right? The trick, but they ain't about finding the tricks. The tricks are just there to be cool and to give you a way to kind of keep it all locked up with magnets in it. The real joy of Jerry's puzzles is actually taking them completely apart, putting them completely back together, and from what I've learned from him is he doesn't get to see that a lot from people. So here's to Jerry, here's to you guys. Glad I was able to share this, and you guys have a good one.